But first, there's one thing I do really want to see in tomorrow's budget. Spending to give us a proper quarantine system so that Australians can travel again. For more than a year, Australia's been like the old Soviet Union. You can't travel abroad unless some bureaucrat stamps your paper, says it's okay. We'll let you go. And that's because our quarantine system cannot cope when too many of us come back. In fact, that system is now so hopeless at coping that there are today 173 Australian children trapped in India and banned from flying home to their parents here. They've been visiting relatives. Trapped. We're told our quarantine system is so overwhelmed that these children cannot fly back. So if they get sick in India or we faff around, then let them try to find a hospital there that can take them. But for the rest of us, we can't leave, not without a good excuse. And I think that's not actually a small deal. 8 million Australians were born overseas, and millions of others of us, like me, have children overseas or relatives so old that if we can't leave soon, we may never see them again. Now, on this point, we're getting strangely mixed signals from the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and from his Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg. Morrison yesterday in the Sunday Herald Sun implied that this wasn't going to change anytime soon. He's read the polls, it seems. And Morrison says Australia will be closed to the world for quite some time. We still have a long way to go. But the Treasurer generated very different headlines this morning because his budget tomorrow assumes that borders next year will reopen, which will really help the economy. And the Health Minister today was also making the argument to get people travelling again.
Unless we were to completely wall ourselves off from the world, with nobody coming in, nobody going out, no trade going out, no trade coming in, then nobody can guarantee that there would be zero cases.
Now, I get it. We can't let Australians travel again if they're going to come back with the virus and kill people. Of course, vaccinations, though, should make the risk of us dying from the virus even less than it is now. So let's not freak at every infection. But it is true, the virus does mutate, and we already see variants now that can get past some vaccines. So that means we're going to need a quarantine system probably for years to come, one that can handle any new crisis, any new variant, as a backup to better home detention, for instance. So it staggers me that more than a year after it was clear that we needed quarantine centres, that we are still relying on hotels that weren't built for quarantining people, and most of which are actually right in the middle of our biggest cities, so that if there is a breakout of the virus, millions of people are immediately at risk. Obviously, that's got to change. It's got to change. I hope to see that change in the budget. Or are we really going to be trapped in Australia for years to come?